All right, so welcome everybody to another deep dive with us.
Yes. Hello.
And today we are going to be looking at this idea of being addlepated.
Addlepated.
And
Yeah.
we're taking that
The
from,
piece called Addlepated.
yeah, a piece called Addlepated.
It's a word of the day entry,
Yeah,
but it goes beyond just, defining the word.
yeah.
It gets into some, like more reflective, almost philosophical
Yeah.
thoughts about dealing with the unexpected.
Yeah, so the basic idea here is you're following all the instructions. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing, but things still manage to go.
Sideways.
Yeah, gloriously sideways.
Yeah.
And that's
That's the Addlepated experience.
the addlepated
Yeah.
experience, yeah.
Mm.
And so what we want to do today in this deep dive is to kind of unpack that a little bit.
Yeah. What's the wisdom in that?
Yeah, what's the wisdom in these moments?
Where we feel addlepated.
Where we feel addlepated and we're just like, how did this happen?
Right. Exactly.
So let's start off with the word itself.
Yeah. It's such a great word.
Addlepated.
Addlepated.
It's addlepated. Yeah, it's
Sounds jumbled.
yeah, jumbled. Like it's just
As that feeling.
yeah, it's got like this kind of whimsical sound to it.
Right, like scatterbrained, but
Yeah.
with a little bit of like
Yeah.
eccentricity.
Yeah, I mean, we've all had these addlepated moments, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly have.
Absolutely.
Where I'm just like, I don't even know how I got here.
And what's interesting about that word, it's not just confusion. There's
Wow.
also this playfulness
Yeah.
to it, right? It's like
It's-
you're embracing the unexpected,
Yeah.
but with a bit of a twinkle in your eyes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And the source seems to be suggesting that,
Great.
maybe those detours aren't always a bad thing.
Yeah, and there's also this feeling that comes out in the source material, and I've definitely felt this.
Okay.
It's just like, if it's not one thing, it's another,
Oh, yeah.
and that can be really frustrating.
For sure.
You're doing your due diligence, you're trying to plan ahead, you're trying to
get things right.
yeah, you're trying to get things right, and then life throws you a curveball, and it's like, oh, come on.
It's so relatable.
It is so relatable, and I think the source material really acknowledges that frustration.
Yes.
It does. But then it goes on to this really interesting idea,
Okay.
this idea of serendipity,
Right.
which is essentially, sometimes these unexpected outcomes lead us to places we never would have discovered.
If we'd stayed on the straight and narrow path,
Yeah, exactly.
if everything had gone according to plan, we might have missed out on something really
Amazing.
amazing.
Yeah. So I see that. But there's this one line in the source that I'm kind of stuck on.
Okay.
It's the line about letting things develop organically.
Right.
I'm struggling with that a little bit. How do you let things develop organically when you're also trying to follow a plan?
Yeah, he does seem contradictory, right?
It does.
Yeah. Like, how can you have a plan and be spontaneous at the same time?
Exactly.
And that's where the source brings in this really, I think, brilliant analogy
Okay.
about assembling IKEA furniture.
Okay.
Right? So you have the instructions, you have a plan,
You have a plan?
but you don't necessarily tighten all the bolts right away,
right.
right? You kind of put things together loosely,
Yeah.
and then you see how they fit.
Yeah.
You make adjustments along the way,
I see what you're saying.
and only when you're sure that everything's where it should be, then you tighten everything up.
Okay. That is a very helpful way to think about it.
I thought so too. When I read that, I was like, oh, that's really...
Yeah. So it's not about giving up on plans altogether.
No.
It's about
flexibility.
flexibility.
Yeah.
Leaving room for adjustments.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance between putting in the effort and also accepting
Yeah.
that things might not unfold exactly as you envisioned,
Right.
and that sometimes those addlepated moments lead to the most brilliant discoveries.
And that makes me think about the time that you missed your flight,
Oh, yeah.
and then you ended up meeting
My business partner
your business partner.
at the airport cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
While you were waiting for the next flight.
that's right.
And if everything had gone according to plan,
I never would have met her.
you never would have met her. And who knows what?
My life would be completely different.
Completely different, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like a perfect example of
The Addlepated principle in action.
the Addlepated principle in action.
Yeah.
Yeah, and wouldn't you say that chance encounter really did have like a profound impact on your life?
Oh, absolutely. It was life-changing.
Yeah, so it's like this source material, this piece on being addlepated, it's really encouraging us
Yeah.
to approach life with
A little less rigidity.
a little less rigidity,
A little more...
a little more addlepated wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Embrace the unexpected.
Embrace the unexpected.
Oh.
And so for all of you listening out there, I want you to think about a time when something went wrong in your life, but it ended up leading to something positive.
Ooh, that's good.
And I think we all have those stories. And it's a good reminder
Yes.
that, sometimes those detours, those unexpected turns,
They're not always bad.
they're not always bad. They can actually lead to something really wonderful.
Absolutely.
And here's something else to think about.
Okay.
What if you approached a current challenge
Ooh.
with that same addlepated spirit? You know what I mean?
I do?
Like, what if you loosen the bolts a little bit?
Where could you loosen the bolt?
Yeah, where could you loosen the bolts and allow for some of those unexpected detours? And who knows, you might be surprised where you end up.
That's a great thought to leave everyone with.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.